Pattaya is a city that defies definitions. For some, it is a tropical paradise. For others, it is an urban chaos that never sleeps. Located about 150 kilometers from Bangkok, this coastal city has evolved from a quiet fishing village to one of the most visited destinations in Thailand. But Pattaya goes far beyond the postcards and stereotypes that circulate on the internet. When we think of Thailand, we imagine golden temples, paradise beaches, and floating markets. But Pattaya is different. It mixes all of this with a peculiar energy, an identity built on contrasts. Here, luxury and simplicity walk side by side, just as spirituality and excess do. Among its modern buildings and narrow alleys lies a mosaic of experiences that few tourists take the time to observe closely. The beating heart of the city is Beach Road, an avenue that hugs the shoreline and serves as a mirror to Pattaya's soul. During the day, the scene is almost idyllic. The sea breeze, lined palm trees, and a promenade full of tourists exploring shops, cafes, and street markets. But it only takes a few hours for everything to change. When the sun sets, the city transforms. Neon lights illuminate the avenue, music begins to play, and what was once tranquil becomes vibrant and unpredictable. My goal with this walk is to show a different side of Pattaya, something you won't see in conventional travel guides. I want to explore the details that go unnoticed, the characters that make this city pulse, and the small moments that reveal its essence. Pattaya is not just a tourist destination. It is a living organism, changing with each hour of the day. Our journey begins on the more sophisticated side of Beach Road, where large hotels and shopping malls welcome visitors from around the world. We will follow streets that blend the modern and the traditional, where food stalls compete with high-end restaurants. Next, we will see how the city changes with the arrival of night. Bars begin to open. Street vendors set up their stalls and the streets gain a new energy. Then we will enter the most controversial part of Pattaya, where the nightlife reveals curious stories and characters that make the city one of the most unique places in Thailand. Finally, we will see Pattaya at dawn, when everything slows down and the city seems to reinvent itself before another frantic day. Pattaya is a place of paradoxes. A city where a temple can be next to a bar, where monks share sidewalks with tourists, and where the glow of neon signs hides complex realities. For many, it is a party destination. For others, a second home. But the truth is that Pattaya is multifaceted. Each person who passes through here takes with them a unique experience, shaped by what they choose to see or ignore. If you have never visited Pattaya, this walk may change your perspective. And if you already know it, you might discover a new view of the city. Get ready, because this will not be just any walk. We will explore Pattaya beyond the postcards and discover what really happens on the streets of this fascinating city. Now, let's walk. The warm breeze from the Gulf of Thailand gently blows as I take my first steps along Beach Road. The sun still shines brightly, reflecting off the windows of the imposing hotels lining the avenue. The traffic of tuk-tuks and motorcycles is constant but not chaotic. Tourists stroll leisurely, taking photos, buying fresh mango juices, and bargaining for souvenirs at small stalls. Pattaya, at least in this stretch, displays a polished, modern, and welcoming face. The first thing that catches the eye here is the contrast between sophistication and simplicity. On one side of the street, Central Festival Pattaya, one of the most luxurious shopping malls in Thailand, attracts visitors with its designer stores, international restaurants, and a panoramic terrace overlooking the sea. On the other side, small local merchants sell crafts, printed t-shirts, and exotic fruits at affordable prices. It's as if two realities coexist, separated only by asphalt. As I walk, I notice that Pattaya is a city where everything seems to be in constant motion. From time to time, I cross paths with groups of Chinese tourists following guides holding colorful flags, while European backpackers prefer to venture on their own. Street vendors push food carts, offering everything from seafood skewers to fried insects, a delicacy that divides opinions. The aromas that mix in the air tell stories of different cultures. The smell of curry from a Thai restaurant mingles with the sweet aroma of banana crepes prepared by street vendors. The sound of waves gently breaking on the beach blends with conversations in various languages. There is a unique rhythm in this part of Pattaya, a curious balance between the daily lives of locals and the movement of visitors. Beach Road is a thermometer of the city. During the day, the atmosphere is calm, almost familiar. I see couples walking hand in hand, families enjoying the beach, and elderly foreigners, many of whom are expats who decided to make Pattaya their home, sitting in seaside cafes, reading newspapers, or simply watching life go by. Many have come from cold countries in search of a tropical refuge where the cost of living is low and the weather is pleasant year-round. However, even in this apparent calm, some signs indicate that the city is about to change. Some bar doors are still closed, but there is already movement inside. Staff are organizing tables, cleaning windows, and preparing the neon sign lighting that will, in a few hours, completely transform the landscape. I step away from Beach Road and enter a side street. Here, the difference in atmosphere is immediate. The large hotels give way to small boutique hotels, massage parlors, and convenience stores that sell everything from alcoholic beverages to sunscreen. There is no tree-lined boardwalk or ocean view, but there is a certain charm in the simplicity of this setting. Moving a little further, I discover a small local market. Unlike tourist markets, where everything seems organized to attract foreigners, this place has a genuinely Thai atmosphere. The stalls sell fresh fish, colorful vegetables, and aromatic spices. Vendors chat casually with each other and few tourists pass by. The strong smell of freshly caught fish mingles with the sweet aroma of coconut milk, an essential ingredient in Thai cuisine. Here, I notice another interesting detail: the prices. While a plate of Western food on Beach Road may cost around $10, here a plate of rice with curry and chicken goes for less than $2. This difference illustrates the duality of Pattaya, a city that offers both sophisticated experiences and affordable options for those who know where to look. After this brief foray into the lesser-known streets, I return to Beach Road. The sun begins to slowly descend on the horizon, tinting the sky with orange hues. The temperature is still high, but it is becoming more pleasant for walking. The sea reflects the golden light, creating a scene worthy of photography. The activity increases. Some runners take advantage of the evening for their physical activities, while tourists begin to fill the bars and restaurants with ocean views. The Central Festival, which was relatively quiet during the afternoon, now receives a larger flow of visitors. Groups of friends enter and exit the shops, some carrying bags, others simply exploring the air-conditioned environment as a refuge from the heat. Further ahead, I notice a group of street performers starting to organize. One sets up a small improvised stage, while another adjusts the speakers. The entertainment culture is everywhere in Pattaya, and these artists are a part of the daily spectacle that happens in the city. Time passes quickly when you are immersed in this environment. Now, the streetlights begin to turn on, and I realize that the atmosphere is changing. The tranquility of the afternoon gives way to a vibrant energy. The city prepares to enter a new phase, the nighttime phase, where everything gains more color, more sound, and more intensity. Before continuing my walk toward the busier areas, I pause for a moment to absorb the moment. It is fascinating to see how Pattaya gradually transforms, almost like a living organism awakening to the night. The sun is low on the horizon when I resume my walk. The golden light reflecting on the sea begins to dissipate, giving way to a dark blue sky that will soon turn completely black. With the arrival of night, Pattaya changes its rhythm. The city that once seemed quiet now awakens with electrifying energy. The first changes are subtle. The movement on the sidewalks increases. Tourists who spent the day at the beach now walk in flip-flops and light clothing, looking for a place to have dinner. Some bars are already open, but they are not yet full. The waiters organize the tables while DJs test their equipment. Soon, the music will begin to echo through the streets, setting the tone for the night. Beach Road is a spectacle in itself at this hour. The neon signs start to light up, tinting the avenue in red, blue, and purple. The signs flash with the names of bars, restaurants, and show houses, promising fun for all tastes. Some people gather in groups, chatting and laughing loudly, while others walk alone, absorbing the vibrant atmosphere. Further along, I see a row of open-air massage chairs. Thai women dressed in colorful uniforms offer foot and back. Massages for anyone wanting to relax before facing the night's hustle and bustle. The scene is curious. Next to a bar playing loud music, tourists of different nationalities rest while receiving massages. It is one of the many contrasts that make Pattaya such a peculiar place. Moving a little further, I reach a section where street performers begin their shows. A group of Thai dancers positions themselves on a small improvised stage, preparing for a breakdance performance. A little further ahead, a man dressed as a living statue remains motionless while tourists stop to take photos. There are also musicians playing saxophones, guitars, and even traditional Thai instruments. These artists are part of the daily spectacle of Beach Road. They are not just there to entertain tourists, but also to make a living in a city where the economy revolves around entertainment. Each performance is carefully planned, from the costumes to the lighting. As the night progresses, the competition for attention intensifies, and each artist tries to attract more of an audience. Nearby, I notice that the bars are starting to fill up. The music gets louder, and the flashing lights become more intense. Some establishments have live performances, with bands playing rock, reggae, or international pop. Others prefer DJs, who energize customers with electronic beats. The musical diversity reflects the mix of cultures that make up Pattaya, a place where you can hear Thai music in one bar, and next door, a cover of the Beatles. The waiters, always smiling and attentive, try to attract customers into the bars. Some offer free drinks as a welcome courtesy. Others simply politely invite passers-by on the street. It is a dynamic environment where everything happens at the same time. However, it is not just the bars that come alive at night. The street vendors also take advantage of this time to boost their business. Food carts take over the sidewalks, selling chicken, shrimp, squid, and pork skewers. The smell of the grill fills the air, mixing with the sweet aroma of banana crepes and freshly made natural juices. Here, street food is not just a cheap option, it is an essential part of the Thai experience. While some tourists choose upscale restaurants, many prefer to sample the authentic flavors of the street stalls. The prices are affordable, and the food is surprisingly delicious. It's not uncommon to see someone leaving a bar and stopping by one of these stalls for a quick snack before continuing their night. By this time, Beach Road is already completely different from when I started my walk. If during the day the city had a calm and sunny rhythm, now it pulses with frenetic energy. The chatter of tourists mixes with the music from the bars and the sound of motorcycle engines passing down the avenue. Everything happens at once, creating a spectacle that is impossible to ignore. As I move forward, I realize I am approaching one of the most famous and controversial areas of Pattaya, Walking Street. Before I get there, however, I take a moment to observe the surroundings. On one corner, a group of young Thais gathers at an outdoor bar, drinking local beer and watching a soccer game on a giant screen. On another, a foreign couple discusses what to do for the night, analyzing flyers from different show venues. In a side alley, I see a small Buddhist temple illuminated by candles, where a few people are silently praying, a reminder that despite the hustle and bustle, Pattaya still retains its spiritual roots. The transition between these worlds happens so naturally that it feels surreal. A temple and a bar may be just a few meters apart, but they represent completely different realities. This duality is what makes Pattaya unique. Time flies when you are immersed in this environment. I look at my watch and realize that several hours have passed since I started this walk. The city is now fully awake for the night, and the movement only increases. Now it's time to head to Walking Street, the epicenter of Pattaya's nightlife. What I have seen so far has just been a prelude. The true intensity of the night is still to come. With this anticipation, I move forward, ready to explore the more controversial side of the city. The buzz of Beach Road intensifies as I approach Walking Street, the most famous and controversial street in Pattaya. This stretch is a portal to a universe where the city transforms completely. If Beach Road already showed signs of its nighttime metamorphosis, here the change is total. The entrance to Walking Street is marked by a large illuminated archway with neon signs flickering constantly. Crossing this portal is like stepping into another world. The lights are brighter, the music is louder, and the flow of people is unending. There is no traffic from cars or motorcycles in this area, only pedestrians walking among bars, nightclubs, and show venues. The first impression is overwhelming. Everything happens at once. Giant screens display music videos and advertisements for themed parties. Club promoters hold eye-catching signs and try to attract customers. Bars and pubs overflow with people, with DJs energizing crowds and waiters balancing trays full of colorful cocktails. The crowd is a curious mix: young backpackers seeking fun, foreign couples exploring the city, groups of friends celebrating special occasions, and expatriates who already seem part of the scenery. The diversity of languages spoken around is impressive. English, Russian, French, German, Chinese, Arabic, Pattaya is a global microcosm. As I walk down the street, I notice that each establishment has its own style. Some bars focus on live music, with bands playing classic rock, reggae, or blues. Others follow the electronic dance music trend, with flashing lights and artificial smoke creating an atmosphere of endless partying. There are also more sophisticated clubs that attract a discerning audience and offer exclusive experiences. But walking street is not just about fun. It is also a mirror of the city's economic and social reality. Here, entertainment workers rely on tourism to survive. Many come from other regions of Thailand, seeking opportunities in Pattaya, where the leisure industry generates billions of baht each year. For some, it is a temporary job. For others, it is a way of life. At every corner, characters emerge that are part of this universe. I see a bartender preparing drinks with impressive flair, earning applause from customers. A little further on, a tattoo artist showcases his work in a lit display case, inviting tourists to take home a permanent reminder of the city. There are also those who seem to live in the shadows of walking street. Lonely men drinking silently, observing the crowd without interacting. Pushy vendors trying to sell products and services. And of course, scammers waiting for an unsuspecting tourist to pull off classic tricks. In a place where money circulates quickly, not everything is glitz and glamour. Contrary to what many imagine, walking street is not made up solely of excess. There are also cultural spaces and alternatives for those looking for a different experience. Some theaters present magic shows and traditional Thai performances. Renowned restaurants serve typical dishes in sophisticated settings. It is possible to find art, cuisine, and quality music amid the colorful chaos of this iconic street. As I continue walking, I realize that the energy of the place is addictive. It is hard not to be swept away by the fast-paced rhythm of walking street. Each step reveals a new scene, a new story. In one moment, I see a group of tourists dancing in the middle of the street, not caring about the gazes around them. In another, a street performer is doing fire tricks, eliciting surprised expressions from the audience. Despite the hustle and bustle, there are moments of pause. Some side alleys offer unexpected refuges. Small cafes and more discreet bars welcome those who prefer to escape a bit from the intensity of the main street. There the sound is lower, the lights are less blinding, and the pace slows down. Pattaya is a city of contrasts, and walking street is the definitive proof of that. Next to luxurious clubs, there are simple stalls selling meat skewers and spring rolls. Beside laughing and having fun tourists, there are exhausted workers counting the night's earnings. Amidst the noise and euphoria, there are moments of silence and introspection. It's past midnight when I decide it's time to leave walking street. The avenue is still crowded and the party is far from over. For many, the night has just begun. For others, it's just another workday. Leaving the epicenter of nightlife, I return to Beach Road. The contrast between the two environments is evident. Although the avenue is still busy, the atmosphere is different. Some people walk towards their hotels, while others are still deciding where to go. The smell of street food is still present in the air. Some vendors are closing up their stalls, while others continue serving hungry customers after a night of partying. A group of young Thais sits on the sidewalk, sharing a plate of fried rice and laughing at stories from the night. Looking at the sea, I realize that Pattaya never completely sleeps. Even with all the excitement around me, there is a strange tranquility in the night breeze and in the reflection of the city lights on the calm waters. Now, my walk is heading into its final phase, the dawn of Pattaya. I want to see how the city recovers after an intense night, how it transforms again, revealing a new facet before the start of another day. With that expectation, I move on, ready to witness the daily rebirth of this fascinating city. Walking street still pulses behind me, but Beach Road is already beginning to enter another rhythm. As I continue walking down the avenue, I notice that the energy of the city is changing again. The hustle and bustle of the early morning gives way to a calmer mood, as if Pattaya is slowly returning to its original state after an intense night. The first sign of the transition is the presence of cleaning workers. While some people are still celebrating in bars and restaurants, uniformed teams have already begun to sweep the streets, collecting plastic cups, empty bottles, and leftover food. Garbage trucks circulate down the avenue, removing the traces of the previous night. It's a daily cycle where the city regenerates before the next day brings a new wave of tourists and parties. The sky begins to brighten, and the neon lights that dominated the landscape in the last hours lose intensity in the face of natural light. The sun has not fully risen yet, but the dark blue of the early morning is being replaced by soft shades of purple and orange. The reflection of the colors on the sea creates an impressive visual effect, as if the city is being slowly awakened by a new day. At this hour, the beach is no longer completely empty. Some locals take advantage of the dawn to walk barefoot on the sand, exercise, or simply watch the horizon. Unlike the previous day, when tourists crowded the beach with chairs, umbrellas, and jet skis, now the scene is almost silent. Only the sound of waves gently breaking on the shore interrupts the silence. Further along, I notice the presence of fishermen. Unlike the night workers who are finishing their shifts, they are just starting their day. Small wooden boats float close to the shore, and fishermen pull nets full of fish, preparing to sell their catch at local markets. This is a scene that few tourists witness, a reminder that behind the vibrant and touristy facade, Pattaya still holds simple traditions that withstand the test of time. On the sidewalk of Beach Road, I find a group of Buddhist monks walking in a line, wearing their orange robes. They pass from shop to shop, accepting offerings from merchants and local residents. This ritual, called takbat, has been part of Thai culture for centuries. Monks live on donations and, in return, offer blessings and prayers. The scene is almost surreal. Just hours ago, this same avenue was filled with parties, loud music, and noisy crowds. Now, the atmosphere is completely different. The contrast between the frenzy of the night and the serenity of the dawn has never been so evident. Passing through some side streets, I see the first cafes and restaurants opening their doors. Employees are setting up tables and preparing the first orders of the day. The smell of freshly brewed coffee begins to spread through the air, mixing with the aroma of fresh bread and rice cooking in large pots. I decide to stop at one of these cafes to observe the city for a few more minutes. At the counter, a group of tired-looking tourists is having coffee and eating toast, clearly recovering from a long night. At another table, an expatriate is flipping through a local newspaper while sipping tea. Further back, hotel staff are discreetly chatting before starting their shifts. Next to the cafe, a 24-hour convenience store is still serving customers. Some seem to be coming in from a night out, buying bottles of water and quick snacks before heading back to their hotel rooms. Others, already more awake, are buying fruits and juices, ready to start a new day. Outside, tuk-tuks and taxis are beginning to circulate more frequently. Drivers call out to customers, offering transportation to different parts of the city. Some tourists haggle over prices, while others get into the vehicles without hesitation, probably eager to rest after a night of partying. Now, there's no doubt the day has officially begun. The sun finally appears on the horizon, casting golden rays over the buildings and the beach. The sea, which once reflected the artificial lights of the city, now shines under the natural morning light. Pattaya is reborn once again, ready for another cycle of life, fun, and contrasts. My walk is coming to an end. I look back and see the city gradually waking up, recovering from what was and preparing for what is yet to come. Tourists who just lay down will probably only wake up in the middle of the afternoon, ready to repeat the cycle. Workers, on the other hand, follow their routines, ensuring that Pattaya operates like a well-tuned machine. As I head towards my hotel, I reflect on everything I've seen and experienced during this walk. Pattaya is a city of extremes, where every corner reveals a new contrast. On one side, the luxury and modernity of large resorts. On the other, the simplicity of local markets and street vendors. On one side, the party and euphoria of Walking Street. On the other, the tranquility of the beach at dawn. It's easy to form a superficial opinion about Pattaya, whether due to its reputation as a party destination or its images of beaches and luxurious hotels. But the truth is that this city is much more complex than it seems. To truly understand Pattaya, one must walk its streets, observe its transformations, and interact with the people who are part of it. Now, as the day officially begins, I know the city will go through another cycle. Tourists will explore its beaches, vendors will sell their products, expatriates will find comfort in their favorite cafes, and when night falls, Pattaya will transform again, ready for another journey of lights, music, and unforgettable stories. My walk ends here, but the city continues. My walk along Beach Road has come to an end, but the city keeps pulsating, reinventing itself at every moment. What I witnessed here was more than just a simple transition between day and night. It was a journey through different facets of Pattaya, a city that never sleeps and molds itself according to who observes it. Throughout this journey, I saw the city wake up under the strong afternoon sun as tourists stroll leisurely, exploring shops, markets, and street food. I saw Beach Road change its rhythm at dusk as the lights begin to turn on and the vibrant energy of the night take shape. I witnessed the maximum intensity of walking street, where nighttime entertainment and excess create a unique spectacle. And finally, I saw Pattaya reborn with the dawn, revealing a serene side that few notice. Pattaya is a place of contrasts. It can be a party destination or a tranquil seaside retreat. It can offer luxury and simplicity, tradition and modernity, calm and chaos. It all depends on the perspective of the observer. Many who visit Pattaya limit their experience to the most well-known postcards, the bustling beaches, the neon-lit bars, and the modern shopping malls. But the true essence of this city lies in the details that go unnoticed, in the fishermen who start their day while the city still sleeps, in the monks who walk the streets in silence at dawn, in the street vendors who know every corner like the back of their hand. There is something fascinating about observing how Pattaya transforms throughout the hours. Each part of the day reveals a new layer of this complex and vibrant city. During my walk, I tried to see beyond the surface, exploring its dualities and capturing moments that reflect its true essence. If there's one thing I learned here, it's that Pattaya is not a city that can be summed up in a single definition. It is not just a tourist destination or a center of entertainment. It is a living organism where cultures mix, stories intertwine, and each visitor finds a different experience. For some, Pattaya will always be a symbol of unrestrained fun. For others, a place of rest by the sea. But for those who walk its streets with a keen eye, Pattaya reveals itself as a mosaic of experiences, a place where every corner has a story to tell. Now, as I move away from Beach Road, I realize that my journey was not just about exploring a place. It was about observing how it changes, how it breathes, how it reflects the spirit of those who pass through. And that is the beauty of Pattaya, a city that is never the same, yet always retains its essence. If you enjoyed this walk and want to see more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you visited Pattaya? How was your experience? Let's continue this conversation in the comments. See you in the next video. Until then.